Sandra, your bankruptcy recovery expert. The topic I'm going to be talking about now is buying the best new construction deal. Every time I went shopping for a property, I prefer new construction. Just a personal favorite of mine. I just prefer not to have to deal with potential repair issues when it comes to older homes that might have roof leaks or water heater problems or electrical issues. I just didn't want to go through the headache. My goal was to be an investor of new construction properties, and that way I put myself in a better position to rent out my units to people that prefer to live in more contemporary new construction homes that they couldn't afford themselves. That way I had a better market. I was in a better location. I was around better schools in a better area, so I could command a higher dollar for my rental units. That's what my goal was. Now, when shopping for those properties, you got to keep in mind that deals aren't always the best deal. When you see a builder that's advertising closeout and they're paying $10,000 towards closing costs, that sounds great, but here's what you're actually doing. If that builder built in 4 phases and they're having a builder closeout and you're buying in phase 4, guess what? You're buying at the high end of the neighborhood. Is that a good deal for you? Not necessarily, because if there aren't some more new construction homes going around in the neighborhood, not this particular one, but other subdivisions that are close that are at a higher price point, you pretty much are maxed out, which means you have nowhere for your equity to grow except for over a normal time period, and that takes a while. So as a rule of thumb, I developed a little plan that I would only buy new construction if it was in phase 1 or the beginning of phase 2. Why? Because I did my due diligence, and my homework showed that new construction homes, the builder usually increases the price once every quarter. So if they start out in phase 1, by the time they get to phase 2, if it took a year, they had 4 price increases. Can you say instant equity? That's a great deal. So if the builder is going to be building in, let's say, 4 phases over a period of 3 or 4 years, and you get in phase 1 at the beginning before there's a price increase, not only do you get to have the instant equity from the price increases in phase 1 every quarter, but by the time they move on to phase 2 and phase 3 and phase 4, they would have had a lot of price increases before the community is completed, and you have instant equity. Now you're sitting pretty, because if you needed to pull money out for a home-based business, or if you needed to refinance and pay off some debt, you had the ability to do so, because you have built in equity over a period of time, and it's a short period of time because of the price increases that the builder did. That's how I bought all my new construction homes year after year, and they always went up instantly. My $210,000 home went up to $240,000 in 15 months. You can't get that anywhere. Now granted, that was before the mortgage crisis, but guess what? Builders always have price increases. So you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best possible position to buy a property and take advantage of what people have been taking advantage of all this time. We just wasn't informed that it existed. And now when you know better, you do better. If you're looking at buying a previously owned home, whether it's in a new subdivision or it's in an older home, you want to take a look at the tax records and do your due diligence again and see, hey, at one point in time this property was going for $200,000, but because of the economy it's dropped down to $150,000. That might be a great deal, because if it was going for $200,000 before, it's just going to take more time to get back up there, if it ever gets back up there that high, but at least you got a sound property that is increasing because the businesses and the other homes and subdivisions around it are still growing. Especially if you have a new construction in the same price range, it's going to drive your property. Okay? The second thing I did was, if I could not get a new construction deal that I liked, then I would look for a great home that was on a corner lot that was in a community that had new construction going around it somewhere in the vicinity of 1 to 2 miles. Because if my home, even though it was older, was anywhere close to the square footage and size of those new construction homes, I would again be able to benefit from the fact that they're building around the corner, and eventually the property value will go up. So again, that's a great buy. And for me, anytime you buy a corner lot, you get more yards. So that's always a great buy when you look at families that want a lot of yard or square footage. Granted, your utilities, some people say you end up paying more, but I didn't care. I like corner lots. They're just a great deal. Okay? Again, use my life as an example. Avoid my mistakes. You don't have to live through everything. And that way you can take advantage of opportunities that come your way, because what? You're well prepared and you're well informed. Okay? So until next time, thanks for visiting me at freeinfojustforyou.com. Have a good day.